suppose last time you played Celtic, after that you've gone on this fantastic run. What do you think's changed? What kind of progress do you think there's been in the meantime?
I think clearly we're in a much better position. I think even when I think back to that game, I think that was the last time we lost a game, so it's one defeat in 15 or so. I think even watching that game back, I thought we played really well on the day. Clearly had a lot of chances and maybe should have got something from the game. I'm not going to say should have because we lost the game 3-0, clearly. But we demonstrated that we were a good side and we can cause Celtic problems on the day, so we take confidence from that. And then when you think back to the run of form we've had since then, the performances we've put in, and the momentum that's been building, the confidence in the players is huge as well. You know, the feel-good factor, they're all in a really good moment at the minute. So we're certainly in a much better place going into the game than we were at that point. And it's a really good game to look forward to. A big game, a tough game, but one that I've said to the players many times that these are the games you want to play in and test yourself against the team that's top of the league and, you know, Champions League players, which is brilliant for them.
How important can that confidence momentum be when you go into a game like this?
It's key, because I think I say this the same as well, which is in a game like this, you need to believe you can do it, and you need to take the confidence from how we've been playing at the minute, how we played against them the last time. We obviously need to improve because we lost the game and work on the areas that let ourselves down. We know it'll be a real difficult game and we know we need to be at the very best. Every player needs to play at the top of their game to get a positive result. But you need to believe you can do it. On any game, it's like anything. You look at the league, everyone beats everyone. You know, we're no different going into this game. We're at home, we want to be on the front foot and we want to try and get 3 points. That's the challenge to the players.
When you see in midweek Celtic bringing such a performance against Bayern Munich, does that just show sometimes just how big the challenge is for everybody else in the league when they come up against Celtic?
Of course, but it shows you that, you know, the confidence and the way they played over there and the bravery they showed to go over there. I thought they were fantastic on the night, really, really unlucky and deserved to win the game on the night, but how they played shows you against one of the biggest clubs in the world that if you get it, you know, tactically right, but also get the effort for the players and they all believe into what you're trying to do, you can be successful. And I thought on the night Celtic were fantastic, and we know ourselves it's a similar situation in terms of Celtic will be favourites going into the game. But we need to take all the confidence that we're in a good place and we need to put a game plan in place that the players trust, believe in and hopefully can go and execute it to give us a chance.
Considering what they put into that game, is there a chance that you've taken advantage and maybe how they are physically and emotionally after that and maybe quite tired from that?
No, I don't think we can look for any loopholes or any excuses at all or anything to try and, listen, if there's 1% or 2% that you can gain, I think Celtic have been that used to playing in big games all season. You know, they've been doing that all year in Europe and coming back and playing domestically, and they're top of the league for a reason, so they're able to do that. They're used to playing in big games, so we're not going into the game thinking that anything other than it'll be a really tough Celtic team. Whatever team Brendan puts out, you know, he could make changes, they'll still be a strong side, and they've got a really good way of playing, obviously. So we're not looking for any favours from that front or taking our eye off the ball thinking it's going to be any easier. It certainly won't be, so we need to be exactly what I said earlier, which is at the very top of our game.
I'll just ask how Eddie May's doing after the other day.
He's improving, which is, you know, obviously a real shock to everybody. Eddie being Eddie, and he might have phoned me straight away because Eddie being Eddie was I'm not going to make it in today. You know, that one of them ones worrying about the fact he wasn't going to make it to work. Well, we're all concerned about how he actually is. He's very lucky to have only came out of what he had done. You know, a few bumps and bruises and broken ribs, I think. So he's not, obviously, in a great place, but quite lucky on the other front as well. And it quickly puts things into perspective as well, doesn't it? When you think about how quickly things happen in life, and you know, we just wish him a real speedy recovery because obviously it's not what you want for anything.
And just finally from me, any team news, any of your players who've been injured ready to come back?
There's a few getting back, which is great. Available for this world. There'll be a few that miss out this weekend, just purely, obviously Kwon can't play, Alassana's suspended. Joe Neal's been back on the grass and available. I say available in terms of available for the squad. Marvin's been back training for a few weeks and available for the squad. They've obviously not played minutes or had a lot in them at the minute, but they are available. Ellie Yuhan's been back part training today. He won't be available for this one, but he's getting there closely. So I think by sort of the end of next week, starting next week, we should be in a real good place in terms of players getting back. It's obviously they need minutes because they've been out for some time now, but we're definitely going in the right direction, which is positive.
And how big of a boost can both Joe and Marvin be then, both as players but also leadership with Joe as well?
Yeah, very much so. You've seen that with Joe training this week, what he brings when he's on the training pitch. You know, his organisation, his calmness in the possession as well at times, but just how he trains and the effect he's got on the group. He's obviously been frustrated because he's not been playing, he's been injured for a while. We're hoping we get the benefits from taking a wee bit longer with him because he was someone that we could have probably rushed it back last week. and got them on the grass a little bit quicker, but taking the extra week and doing a little bit more strength work with them should hopefully put us in a better place between now and the end of the season, rather than going through all that process and rushing them back and, you know, maybe breaking down between now and the end of the season. There's a lot of games still to play, a lot of big games where we're going to need everybody, but hopefully, as I say, we're all going in the right direction at the minute, which is really positive.
David, when you come up against Celtic, how do you get that balance between sort of making sure that you defend well and trying to nullify their attacking threats, but also making sure that you carry a threat yourselves?
That's always a challenge, clearly. I think when I think back to how our games have went against them this season, we need to start the game better than we have done. You know, every game we've actually started the games quite well in terms of for the first minute or so, 2 minutes, and that sounds really silly, but when you actually think about how the games went, a couple of phases of play and settling into the game, and then the first couple of attacks Celtic have had against us in weeks they've scored. So we need to be better in them moments, but this is something you can do. You can try and learn from the previous things you do. We work on it in training about what to expect, but as you've just said, you also just can't look at the defensive side of it and just sit in and hope to grind out a result. You know, you need to carry a threat going the other way. I thought we demonstrated that really well at Celtic Park, that we did carry a threat going the other way. I think Schmeichel got man of the match that night, which shows you the threat we did carry going the other way. But at the same time, you also can't go gun-ho, because you know if you do that and you open up too much, you can be punished, because if Celtic do get an opportunity, they can punish you. So it is that fine balance. It's about making sure the players believe in what you're trying to ask them to do, and give the players the confidence as well that you trust them enough to go and really impose themselves on the game. Because like I say, these are the games where, as a player, they should all be desperate to play in, and it's a real opportunity to test themselves against real good players.
And how do you go about sort of preparing for the range of different attacking threats that they've got? Like, how do you plan for that?
You just need to prepare the players as best they can. A lot of them have played against us. This is obviously the fourth time we've played them this season, so we're well aware of the threats that they've got, the dangers they've got. You see it every week in the Premier League, the dangers they have. And like I've touched on there, whoever they play in wider areas, and you could rotate and play 1 or 4 in each area. So I think they all are very different, all carry different threats, but I think regardless of whatever opponent he puts out on the pitch, there'll be a strong side that'll cause us different challenges on the day that we'll have the players ready for. And it's about making sure you apply yourself to the best of your ability.